Washington TV executive producer, writer, director, and chief editor Dr. Kashif Sohail and our entire team of hundreds of presenters appreciate the viewers. We'll bring exclusive videos for you. Keep watching and sharing our videos. Today's topic is extremely useful. Journalism and media glossary of terms and jargons that every journalist should know. Journalism, like any profession, has its own language and specialist words which practitioners need to know. The video contains about 1,000 terms about journalism and the media, including new media, making it probably the biggest, most extensive journalism and media glossary video available. No glossary is ever complete. This one will grow and change along with the profession. What are keywords in journalism? Who is called journalist? A journalist is an individual who collects or gathers information in text, audio, or pictures, processes them to a newsworthy form, and disseminates it to the public. The act or process mainly done by the journalist is called journalism. Journalists research, write, edit, proofread, and file news stories, features, and articles. Their pieces are used on television and radio, or within magazines, journals, and newspapers, in print and online. The purpose of journalism is therefore to provide citizens with the information they need to make the best possible decisions about their lives, their communities, their societies, and their governments. Let's learn about the terms and concepts used in journalism, its subdisciplines, and related fields, including news reporting, publishing, broadcast journalism, and various types of journalistic media. Advocacy journalism, alternative journalism, anchor, anonymous source, Associated Press, the world's largest independent news agency, providing news services for a feed of media around the world. Active proceedings, ABU, Asia-Pacific Broadcasting Union. Actuality, ad-lib, advertorial, advocacy journalism, agony column, ambience or ambient sound, ambulance chaser, amplification, AP style book, ascender, atmos, at-tag, attribute, audience ratings, audience share, audio on demand, augmented reality, AutoCue, average issue readership or AIR. Subscribe to Washington TV. Our chief editor, Dr. Kashif Sohail, compiled this extensive list of terms. He's also writing a book on this topic. Let's continue to learn about more jargons. Beat copy, banner, also called a streamer, beat reporting or beat, blockline, broadcast, broadcast journalism, broadsheet, breaking news, also late breaking news, bright, a short, amusing story, bulletin, byline, also byline, B2B, back announcement, backbench, back copy, background, bad break, beta, balance, bandwidth, banner, bar, BBC, beat, up, bet, best boy, bidirectional mic bill, bio, bleed blind interview blog, blockline, blog, blogger, blogosphere, blog roll, blooper, blow up, blown quote, blur, body type, bold, bounce rate, box brackets, break, breaking news, breakout, bridge, bright, broadcast, broadsheet, broadside, broadside man, broken link, browse, browser, bulletin, bump, bureau, byline.
Our executive producer, director, and chief editor, Dr. Kashif Sohail, made this thorough list of journalism and media terms. He's also writing a book on this subject. Every journalist should watch this video. Let's continue to learn about more jargons. Call out, calls, cans, cap, caption, caption story, casual, catchline, center spread, Chat room. Checkbook journalism, also checkbook journalism. Chief reporter. Chief of staff. Chief sub. Chroma key. Journalism. Cheerin. Circulation. Citizen journalism. Civic media. Classified ads. Clickbait. Click-through. Client. Clip 1. A single graphic or short excerpt of video, often used on web pages. 2. A cutting of a newspaper story. Clippings. Closed captions. Closed question. CNN effect. Cod byline. Cold type. Color. Column. Column centimeter or column inch. Commentator. Commercial broadcasting. Commercials. Commissioning editor. Compositor. Confirmation bias. Conflict of interest. Contact. Contacts book. Contempt of court. Content management system, CMS. Continuity. Contrast. Convergence. Cookie. Copy. Copy editor. Copy reader. Copyright. Copy taster. Copywriting. Correction. Correspondent. Coverline or coverline. Cover story. CQ. Crawl or crawler. Creative Commons. Credit line. Crony journalism. Crop. Crossfade. Crosshead, crosshead. Cross promotion. Crosstalk. Crowdsourcing. CSS, cascading style sheets. Cub. Cue. 1. To prepare a piece of audio or video so that it starts at the beginning at the press of a button. 2. A signal in a studio that an item is about to start or end. Cue sheet. Curtain raiser. Cut. 1. To remove text from an article or whole stories, or to reduce the length of a program item. 2. Another word for a grab or separate segments of audio in a sequence, e.g. cut 1, cut 2, etc. 3. Short for cutting. Cutaway or cutaway. Cutline. Cuttings. Cuttings job. Cyberjournalist. Cable television, a TV service delivered into the home through a cable, usually for a fee. A form of pay TV. Compare with terrestrial television and satellite.
Washington TV executive producer, director and chief editor, Kashif Sohail, worked hard to come up with this long list of journalism terms. Feel free to share this. Let's continue to learn. DAB, digital audio broadcasting. Data-driven journalism, writing a story from research into large amounts of data on a subject, possibly from surveys or research in an area. Data visualization, turning information or data into pictures, graphs or graphics, for easier understanding by readers and viewers. Dateline, a line and contrasting type at the top of a story stating the city and/or country from which the story was filed. Used mostly with foreign stories, with the reporter's byline. dB, decibel, unit of measurement of loudness of sound. Dead air, an extended unwanted silence on radio, often caused by technical or operating errors. Death knock, doorstepping, an assignment in which a reporter calls at the home of a bereaved relative or friend when gathering information about a death. Deck. 1. The number of rows in a headline. 2. A subhead, line below the main headline, describing a key part of the story. See also subhead. Delay. Equipment in a radio studio, which stores 7 seconds of program in memory before sending it to the transmitter. Delay is used during phone-ins and talkback programs. If a caller says something that should not go on air, defamatory comments, the presenter can press a dump button, which effectively deletes the preceding 7 seconds and returns the program to real-time transmission. Delayed intro, drop intro. Descender, the part of a letter that drops below its main body, such as in P or G. Compare with a sender above. See also X height. Desktop publishing. Using a personal computer and page layout software to create documents, including newspapers, magazines, and website content. Desktop publishing point. The smallest unit of measuring fonts in desktop publishing, as opposed to the point measure used when printing. Also called postscript point. Diary. One, a large book or application on a newsroom computer system, into which journalists put information about forthcoming events, which might make a story. 2. A regular newspaper column of gossip or short human interest stories. Digital broadcasting. An advanced system of broadcasting radio or television in digital pulses, rather than waves, and which gives improved quality and/or more channels of content. There are currently 2 quality levels in television: standard definition and high definition. Digital divide. The gap between people who have access to a wide range of digital communication systems and those who do not for reasons such as income, economic development, education, and age.
Washington TV executive producer, director, and chief editor Dr. Kashif Sohail and our whole crew are thankful for watching our videos. Please share this video. Let's learn more terms. Digital media. Media produced and distributed using computers and/or the internet, as opposed to media either produced using mainly pre-digital processes, printing presses, or distributed in physical, non-digital form, printed newspapers, or analog television. So-called traditional media or old media can be digital media without being new media. Contrast with analog television and radio. Digital signature. Digital tool. Dinkus. A small drawing or symbol used to decorate a page, break up a block of type, or identify a regular feature in a newspaper. Direct quote. The exact words used by a person, written within quotation marks and usually attributed to them. Display type. A size of newspaper type larger than that used for the main body of a story, usually in headlines, advertisements, etc. Digital radio broadcasting. Digital radio mondial. Digital television. The modern method of transmitting sound and images in a data stream. DTV is higher quality than the old analog TV. Direct marketing. Documentary, sometimes shortened to doco. Donut. A television interview in which the studio presenter hands over to a journalist on location, who interviews guests before handing back to the presenter in the studio. Term used mainly by the BBC. Doorstepping. To turn up at a person's home or place of work without warning or prior arrangement to get an interview. Doorstepping implies the person may be reluctant to speak and confront. Some broadcasters also use the term for an unheralded phone interview. Double-ender. An interview between a presenter in the studio and a guest somewhere else. Doublespeak, a kind of weasel word or phrase used to hide or justify something bad the speaker is ashamed to have exposed. Double spread or double page spread. 2 facing pages of a newspaper or magazine across which stories, pictures, adverts, and other components are spread as if they were one page.
Washington TV producer, director, writer, and chief editor Kashif Sohail and our whole team are thankful for subscribing to our channel. Keep sharing our videos. Let's learn more about journalism and media terminologies. Double page spread. Down table sub. DRB. Drop cap. Drop intro. Drop out. Dub. Data-driven journalism. Dateline. Dead air. Deadline. Deck. Delayed drop, delayed intro or drop intro. Digital doorstepping. Editorial. 1. An article written by, or on behalf of, an editor, giving the news organization's opinion on an issue. 2. An adjective describing issues relating to news content, as opposed to advertising or other non-news aspects of a newspaper or magazine. Editorial cartoon. Editorial conference. Editorial page. Editorialize. Edit suite. Effects. F. Edge and ang. Ellipsis. Embargo. Embedding. 1. In journalism, to embed or place a reporter within an organization, usually military, so he or she can report from within it. 2. In new media, display and play audio or video directly on a website rather than linking to it. Endnote. Ezine. Editorialize. Erratum. Facticity. Fourth Estate. Fifth Estate. 5WS. Freedom of the Press. Face. Facsimile. FCC, Federal Communications Commission. A U.S. agency that regulates interstate communications by radio, television, wire, satellite, and cable. The U.S. President appointed the 5 commissioners. Feature. Feed. Feedback. File. Filler. Filter bubble. First Amendment. Fixer. Flash. Flat plant. Float. Flub. Flush. Foy. Fold. Folio. Free media democracy. Free press. 1. Media restrained by governments beyond ordinary laws of society. 2. Media products given to their audiences without payment. Free press democracy. Freedom of information, FOI. Freelance journalist, freelancer. Free sheet. Free to air. Free view. FX.
Washington TV executive producer, director, writer, and chief editor Dr. Kashif Sohail and our whole team are thankful for subscribing to our channel, watching and sharing our videos. Let's continue. Gonzo journalism. Galley. Galley proof. A printout of text for checking before it is inserted onto a page. Gatefold. Geotagging. Get. Ghostwriter. GIF. Gobbledygook. Google. Grab. Graphic. Graphics. Often shortened to GFX, words, diagrams, or other illustrations that appear on the television screen. Graph. Mainly US, short for a paragraph of text, which may also be known as a par. Greg. A system of shorthand used mainly in the US and associated countries. Grip. Grip and grin. Guerrilla marketing. A relatively low-cost marketing technique which uses surprise or shock to promote a product or service, especially one which interrupts a consumer to pay special attention. Also used to describe unusual methods which actually do not look like advertising to the consumer. Gutter. A vertical margin of white space where 2 pages meet. It may also be used for the vertical white space between 2 columns of text. Gutter journalism. A derogatory term for media which use sensational reporting without concern for the harm it will do individuals.
My name is Sarah. Washington TV executive producer, director, writer, and chief editor Dr. Kashif Sohail and our whole team are thankful for subscribing to Washington TV. Keep watching and sharing our videos. Let's continue the video. Hard copy. Hard news, also called straight news. Headline, also head. Hub. Human interest story. Hack. 1. A derogatory term for a journalist with low standards who performs repetitive work. 2. To gain unauthorized access to another person's computer or other internet-connected devices. Handout. Hanging indent. Hard copy. Something printed on paper. Compare with soft copy, where words or pictures exist in computerized form as data. Hard news, immediate and factual accounts of important events or developments. Compare with soft news. Hard out, in broadcasting, a sudden and inflexible ending of material in a bulletin, usually determined by a fixed-length pre-recorded segment or a pre-programmed computer event. Hashtag, headline or head, heavy type, HDTV, hits, hold or hold over, homepage, the main or central page of a website. Other pages on the website will usually link back to the home page. Hook, see angle above. Host: 1. The main or central on-air or on-screen person employed in a radio or television program, hosting guests or people on a panel. 2. In computing, the device or program that stores data or websites centrally, making them accessible over the internet. Hot metal type. House ad. House journal, a publication produced and distributed only to a company's own staff. House style. Howl around. HTML, hypertext markup language. Human interest story. Hyperlink. Washington TV executive producer, director, writer, and chief editor Kashif Sohail and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Keep watching and sharing our exclusive videos. Let's talk more about today's amazing topic. Infotainment. Insert. Inverted pyramid. Investigative journalism, investigative reporting. Impressions. In online media, the number of times an advertisement is loaded onto a web page, whether a viewer clicks on it. In print, information printed in a newspaper or magazine, showing the publisher details. In queue, a written note of the first few words of a piece of pre-recorded audio, report, or interview to signal to the presenter or production staff how it will start. In-house, within the media organization itself. Independent television news. A major supplier of news to independent television companies and other television content distributors in Britain. Independent television. The biggest commercial television network in Britain. Index. In newspapers, a table of content, usually on the front page or page 2. Indirect speech. Infodemic. Initially, the growth and spread of misinformation about the COVID-19 pandemic, then more widely applied to any such outbreak, such as false claims about the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Insert. 1. Additional text inserted into a story after it has been written, usually to give additional details. 2. Another term for audio used to illustrate a radio report. See also graph. 3. Additional sheets or booklets placed within newspapers or magazines after they are published, often containing advertising. Interactive TV. Digital television broadcasts that have added mechanisms to feed information back and forth between the viewer and the TV station, such as to download content or to vote on something using the television remote control. Interruptible feedback. Intro. 1. The first paragraph of a news story, usually containing the most newsworthy part of it. In features and documentaries, the intro may just lead the reader or listener into the story, known as a lead in the U.S. Intro. 2. In broadcasting, the part of a script that introduces the next segment, report. It is usually read by the program presenter or announcer. Inverted pyramid. The most common structure for writing a news story, with the main news at the start and the rest of the detail following in decreasing order of importance. IPTV, Internet Protocol Television, is the delivery of television content over the Internet.
Washington TV executive producer, director, writer, and chief editor Dr. Kashif Sohail and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Keep watching and sharing our videos. Today's topic is extremely useful. Let's learn more. Jump line. JavaScript. JPEG. Jump line. Kerning. Kicker. 1. The first sentence or first few words of a story's intro set in a larger font size than the body text. 2. A small headline in different type above and slightly to the left of the main headline. 3. A few words at the beginning of a caption to grab the reader's attention. 4. An ending that finishes a story or bulletin with a climax, surprise, or punchline. Kill. To cancel or delete all or part of a story. Kill fee. A reduced fee paid to a freelance journalist for a story not used. Lead. Legacy media. Letter to the editor. Lift out. Lock up. Label. A headline without a verb. Landscape. A rectangular page format wider than it is high. See also portrait. Layout. 1. A plan of how stories, pictures, and other elements appear on the finished page of a newspaper or magazine, sometimes called a dummy. 2. A set of stories, pictures, and illustrations about a single subject. Layout sub. A sub-editor who specializes in planning the layout of pages. Lead. An alternative, U.S., spelling of lead, pronounced lead, meaning the first paragraph of a news story. In many other countries, this is called the intro. Legacy media, media organizations and production systems such as broadcasting and print that predate digital production and distribution, such as online publishing, blogging, podcasting and social media, are usually called new media. Letters to the editor, letters from readers published by a newspaper or magazine, expressing their views on previous content or current issues. Letters to the editor are read on radio or shown on screen while reading on television. Level, the loudness or volume of a sound. Libel, defamation. Lift, to take a news story, feature or quote from another newspaper or broadcaster and use it in your own report. Lift out, a special supplement, often attached to advertising or a promotion, which is inserted into a newspaper or magazine and can be lifted out by a reader. Lift out quote, copying a quote or partial quote from within an article and highlighting it next to the body of the text, using special type or formatting. See also pull out quote. Lineage. Lineup, a list of reports, interviews or other material compiled for an upcoming news bulletin or newscast, usually placed in the order in which they will be presented. Link rot, the process by which hyperlinks on individual websites or the internet generally point to web pages, servers or other resources that have become unavailable. See also broken links. Linotype, a machine used to make type for printing before computer typesetting.
Washington TV executive producer, director, writer, and chief editor Dr. Kashif Sohail and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Keep watching and sharing our videos. Today's topic is extremely useful. Let's learn more. Loaded words or loaded questions. Lobby journalists. Journalists who report on politics, working in public areas of parliament buildings or with access to authorized areas. Lockup, an agreed process by which journalists are taken to a room to see advance copies of a major announcement, such as a government budget, and prepare stories for release as soon as the budget is delivered in Parliament or Congress. Log, a record of events. 1. In broadcasting, a log or logger is a recording of everything that goes to air, kept for legal or regulatory purposes. 2. In television news production, a list of the elements in a report, usually compiled as the material is filed.
Washington TV executive producer, director, writer, and chief editor Kashif Sohail and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Keep watching and sharing our videos. Today's topic is extremely useful. Let's learn more. Muckraking. Markup. A subeditor's written instructions on a piece of copy on how to handle the text. Mashup. Mass media. Masthead, the name of a newspaper in a banner in special, distinctive type at the top of the front page. Media kit. Media officer. Media release. Metadata. Data about data, information about information that describes how the data, information, is identified, put together, and or used. Microblog. Microcast. Microfiche. Microfilm. Misinformation reporter. Mojo. Mobile journalists who use light and portable reporting and communications tools such as mobile camera phones, PDAs, and notebook wireless computers to record, edit, and transmit their work in text, audio, pictures, and video while in the field without using an office. Monochrome. Mono. A photo, image, or graphic printed or displayed using only black, white, and shades of gray without any other colors. Morgue. Traditionally a newspaper term for archives, some storing every published copy, but others keeping only clippings and photos, normally indexed by specialist archive or library staff. Mugshot. Slang for a head and shoulders photograph of a person facing the camera. Multi-platform or multiplatform. Stories are told using more than one technology platform in journalism, each platform chosen to best tell that part of the story. A radio documentary may put additional information, transcripts, etc. on a website for listeners to visit and learn more. Multiplex. A single digital television or digital radio signal comprising several distinct channels of programming. Multiplier effect. The spread of news or comments from a single story to wider audiences by other media reporting on reports. Millitrack.
Washington TV executive producer, director, writer and chief editor, Kashif Sohail, and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Keep watching and sharing our videos. Today's topic is extremely useful. Let's continue. Nameplate or masthead. News aggregator. News cycle. News hole. News desk. Newsprint. Newsreel. Newsworthy. Name super. Narrative arc. Nat sound, natural sound. 1. The ambient sound recorded at or transmitted from the scene of an event or location report, also known as wild sound. 2. The sound on a version of a story fed without the reporter's voice track. Narrowcasting. Netiquette. Rules of polite behavior, etiquette when using the internet. Netizen. A term combining internet and citizen to define people who use the internet a lot. Network journalism. A form of citizen journalism that relies heavily on information shared through the internet to create stories, often without original research by the writer or producer. Neutral question. A question asked in such a way that it does not imply personal opinion or bias. News agency wires. News agent. News angle. News belt. A roundup of short news stories on television. News break. News bubble. News dealer. News desk. News in brief. News list. Newsstand. News ticker, also called a crawl or crawler, is abbreviated text that scrolls along the bottom of a television screen during news bulletins or current affairs programs, alerting viewers to other important news stories. Naughty or naughty headshot. Non-attributable. Information for publication or broadcast, given on agreement that you do not identify the source. Non-linear editing. A television editing technique in which recorded video and audio information is loaded in digital form as separate shots or sequences into individual files, or bins, in an edit suite's computer, and then pieced together as a news report by an editor, without having to wind the source tape backwards and forwards. Nose. 1. The ability to quickly and easily recognize an event or opinion as newsworthy, i.e., likely to produce a news story. 2. A little-used alternative to intro or lead as the first one or two sentences in a news story. Nutgraph or nutgaff. A paragraph telling the essential elements of a story briefly.
Washington TV chief editor, writer, director, producer Kashif Sohail and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Let's continue. Off the record. On the record. Off diary. Op-ed. Op-ed page, the page in a newspaper opposite the editorial page, containing opinion columns, sometimes readers' letters and other items expressing opinions. Open journalism. Open source journalism. Overnight. OB, outside broadcast. Obit or obituary, an article summarizing the life and achievements of a person recently dead. Objective journalism. Objectivity. Off diary story. Off the record. On diary news, a news story scheduled in the newsroom diary for coverage. Open question, also called an open-ended question, a question that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no, but requires the interviewee to give more information. What happened? Is an open question. Compare with closed question. Open source. Opinion page, editorial page. Orphan. Out. Out cue. Outlook. Out of vision. Outtake, in broadcasting, recorded material is left out of the program, finally broadcast. Humorous outtakes are often called bloopers. Overdub. Overline. Overmatter. Overrun, a program or report too long for its allotted time slot. Washington TV chief editor Kashif Sohail and our whole team appreciate the viewers. Let's continue. Parachute journalism. Paywall. Periodical. Preventive journalism. Pack journalism, when individual journalists competing for coverage of an event or issue act together, like a pack of dogs chasing the same quarry. Pad. Page furniture. Page views.
page proof, pagination, pamphleteer, pan, paparazzi, par, partial quote, paste up, patch, paywall, PDA, personal digital assistant, PDF, portable document format, PED, portable electronic device, peer-to-peer, P2P, PEG, periodical, permalink, phone-in, phono, photomontage, pica, picture desk, picture feeds, pilot, a trial episode of a proposed television series, to see whether there is audience demand for a full series, pitch, podcasts, point, pool, popping, pointer, postscript point, pre-roll, press run, print room, prospects, a list of possible stories for coverage, public service media, PSM radio, television and other media whose primary mission is public service, puff box, puff piece, Pulitzer Prizes, America's highest literary and journalism awards, administered by Columbia University, pull, pull journalism or marketing, pull down, pull out quote or pull quote, put to bed.
Keep watching Washington TV. Our chief editor, Dr. Kashif Sohail, and our whole crew thank the viewers. Let's continue. Reach, rolling news, roundup, rowback, running order, radio mic, radio spectrum, Radiothon, special radio programming in which listeners are asked to telephone the station to make donations to a good cause or charity appeal. On television, these are called telethons. Ragged, ragu, raised cap, rate card, ratings, readability. Recto, the right-hand page of a newspaper or magazine. Red letter, an important breaking news story. Rejig, ranos or renose. Reported speech. Retainer, a regular fee paid to a non-staff correspondent or freelancer to keep them available. Retouch, retraction. Reverse indent, a hanging indent. Reversed out. Ring round, to make phone calls to many people to get or check information or to harvest various opinions on a story. Rolling news or rolling coverage. Round, a reporter's specialist area of coverage, such as a police round. Reporters develop personal contacts in these areas who can give them information. Often called a beat in the U.S. Round up. Run down. Running foot. Running head, in print, a brief form of the publication's title and issue date at the top, head, of each page. Running order, the order in which stories appear in a bulletin or current affairs program, giving titles, times, and other information. Running story. Run on. Run to time. Rush, the second most important alert issued by a news agency about a breaking story or new information. Flash is the most urgent alert. Rushes, early edited version of video or film that needs further editing. Keep watching Washington TV. Our chief editor, Dr. Kashif Sohail, and our whole crew thank the viewers. Let's continue. Satirical journalism. Shield law. Shirt tail. Slug. Soft copy. Soft news. Stories about topics which are interesting and new, but have little or no material effect on people's lives. Soundbite or soundbite. Splash. Straight news. Strap. Streamer. Streeters. Stringer. Satellite television. Television services delivered through satellites, received on the ground by satellite dishes and decoders. Compare with terrestrial television and cable TV. In some countries, limited radio services are also delivered via satellite. Scale. Scare quotes. Schedule. 1. A list of jobs for a reporter. 2. The order and timing in which a newspaper or magazine is printed. Scoop. Scooped, a media agency created to help members of the public sell photographs and videos of newsworthy events to the media. Scraping. Screamer. Screenshot, screen cap or screen grab. Scrum. Segue. Segue. In broadcasting, a transition from topic to topic using a word, idea or theme common to both. Set and hold. Set left or set right. Sibilance. Sidebar. A column beside a main story with more information about or another angle to the main story to which it is attached. Sidebars are often boxed with black lines. Signature block. Simulcast. Sketch. Skyline. A panel on the front page of a newspaper, magazine or website, informing readers what else is inside. Slander. Spoken form of defamation. Slip. A piece of paper or leaflet inserted into a newspaper, magazine or book. Slug. A key word or phrase that identifies a news story while it is being prepared. Snap. Soundbite. A short segment of someone speaking, usually the most significant or interesting part of what they said. Sound effects. See effects. Sound on tape, SOT. Sound on a recorded television report, identified as such. So a presenter knows when it will start, so they do not talk over it. Source. 1. Where information comes from, usually a person who gives a journalist information. 2. In live television, the signal from a camera. Spadia or spadia. A half sheet of advertising folded round a newspaper or magazine, so the outer halves of the front and back pages are still visible. Spike. Spill. Called a jump in US. Spill line. Spin. Splash. Spoiler. Spread. Square brackets. Stab. A short pre-recorded sound inserted into a program or bulletin to create a pause or provide a break between different segments. See also sting below. Standalone. Stand first. Stand up. A reporter's appearance in a TV news story. Station format. Station ID identification. Still. Sting. Story arc. Straight news. Straplin. Streamer, see banner. Stringer. Style gid. Subhead. Subjudice. Super. Graphics, usually words, superimposed over a television image, giving details about it, such as a person's name or where they are. Syndicate. Syntax.
Keep watching Washington TV. Our chief editor, Dr. Kashif Sohail, and our whole crew thank the viewers. Let's continue. Tabloid. Tabloid journalism. Tailpiece. Teleprompter. Thread. Typo misprint. Tagline. Tailpiece or tailpiece. Talkback. Talk radio. Tape library. Taster. Tear sheet. Tease. Teaser. Technobabble. Teletext. Telethon. Terrestrial television. Think piece. An article, column, or commentary written to provoke thought about an issue already in the news. Thread. Throw. Where one person on air passes, throws, the task of presentation to someone else. Tie-in. Time check. Timestamp. Digital information about the date and time that an event was recorded, such as when the file was created or modified, the photo taken, or the message was posted to a social network. Tip or tip-off. Information given to a reporter about a possible story. TK, to come. Tool, digital tool. Top head. Track back. Trail or trailer. Transcript. Treatment. Trust chain. Two-shot. Two-way. Typeface. Typesetter.
Washington TV Chief Editor Kashif Sohail and our team appreciate the viewers. Today's topic is extremely useful, Let's continue. Underground Press. United Press International. Underrun. A program or report that is not long enough to fill its allotted slot on the schedule. Unique users. The number of individual, separate users who visit a website. Unjustified. Text in columns where the individual lines do not all align to the same left or right margin, also called ragged. User-generated content. User interface.
Washington TV Chief Editor Kashif Sohail and crew will bring more futuristic videos. Today's topic is invaluable and useful to make the world a better place. Let's continue. Verso. Versioning. Vox pop. Verbatim. The actual words used by a speaker. Verso. The left-hand page of a newspaper or magazine. Compare with recto. Video on demand. Vignette. Viral marketing. Visits. A measure of the number of people visiting a website. Compare with page views and hits. Podcast to podcast videos. Voicer or voice report. An audio report from a radio reporter, often from the scene of an event. Volume unit meter. An instrument showing how loud a sound from a microphone or recording is.
Washington TV Chief Editor Kashif Sohail and crew welcome everyone. Today's topic is immensely valuable and useful for everyone to make the world a much better place. Let's learn more. Watchdog journalism. Webcast. Wire service. WAP. Rap. Weasel words. Words or phrases used to hide or justify something bad the speaker is ashamed to have exposed. Also called doublespeak. Web 2.0. Technologies which, as a group, are one stage advanced from the early internet tools and platforms. Web 3.0. The next stage in the development of internet-based technologies is in which computers make more decisions. Web scraping. Software which trawls websites for content it can copy to its own site. White space. Areas of a newspaper, magazine, or web page where there is no text, illustrations, color, or furniture. Widget. A piece of software that appears as an image or symbol on a website or computer screen to perform a single, specific function when pressed or clicked by a user. Widow. The final, short line of a paragraph separated from the paragraph in the previous column, which appears at the top of the next column. Wiki. A type of public access website that allows readers to edit and contribute content directly as part of a collaborative process, building information and knowledge. Wild sound. Windshield. A foam cover protecting a microphone from wind noise. It also helps reduce popping, also called a windsock. Wires. Stories or photographs provided by wire services for journalists to use in reporting or compiling news for publication or broadcast. Media organizations typically subscribe to wire services for an annual fee.
Hundreds of presenters of Washington TV and Chief Editor Kashif Sohail welcome everyone. Let's continue. WAB, white text on a black or dark colored background, also known as reversed out. WordPress, a free website building and blogging software system. Wrap-up questions, the final questions in an interview, in which the interviewer clarifies any outstanding issues and checks they have not missed anything. Write-off story, a short, front-page version of a story, which is repeated in full with more details, inside the newspaper. WWWWWNH, who, what, where, when, why, and how. The 6 most important questions journalists should ask and news stories should answer. WYSIWYG, an acronym for What You See Is What You Get, referring to a system in which the view of the web page or file in the editing phase appears very similar to what the final product will look like. This allows users to format content without specific knowledge of the underlying software code or computer digital language.
Hundreds of presenters of Washington TV and our chief Kashif Sohail appreciate you. Let's wind up the list now. X height. The height of lowercase letters of a typeface, such as X, excluding ascenders and descenders, such as D and P. Yellow journalism. An old-fashioned U.S. term for sensational journalism. Yellow press. Zine.